Hi guys, I hope you're all safe and well out there. Today I thought I would create a full face of natural looking makeup using Too Faced products, and I hope you enjoy it. First of all, before I do anything, I'm having a geek moment. I'm going to apply my Too Faced scrunchie. Let's just get that in there. Nice, ready for action. I'm going to start off by sanitising, obviously, we have to, and give my hands a good clean. Might have just put too much on, that's very wet. And first of all, I'm going to start off using the Peaches and Cream Lip Scrub. This does also come with a balm as well. I quite like using this. I'm using my phone as a mirror, which is probably not a good idea. Let's grab a mirror. Nice. Okay, so then secondly, I found it. I'm so happy I couldn't find it. This is like my favourite skincare item that Too Faced have brought out recently. So this is the Hangover Pillow Balm. You can use this during the day and at night. I'm going to pop it on now because I've just prepped my lips. It does tingle, it's got a minty extract, minty taste to it, but it's not as strong as the lip injections. Oh, I love it. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go in with the SPF moisturiser. So this gives you factor 25. I'm a little bit obsessed with using this now. I quite like a really hydrated kind of glowy, dewy skin, so that's not really a factor for me if it feels kind of tacky. I almost actually quite like that, and sometimes I actually mix it in with the Hangover primer. So I'll pop a little bit all over. And then with the remainder, I'm actually gonna, so the rest that's left on my hand, I'm gonna pop a little bit of the Hangover primer. So this is the Major Hangover. I'm not sure they do this size anymore, but you can get a travel and a original size. So just mix this together. I do have a mixing palette, by the way, like right here, Too Faced one, but I'm, still using my hand. That's me. And then just popping that all over. See, I like a really moisturised and hydrated base. But the good thing with this, even if you are quite oily, obviously we do have the Peaches and Cream range, but this doesn't feel like sticky and it doesn't leave a white residue. I do sometimes with the excess, just a little bit on the neck, because I tend to bring my foundation a little bit lower anyway. Yeah. So next I'm actually going to use my mixing palette, and I've actually run out of my foundation shade, so I'm quite sad. But I'm going to use the Born This Way in the shade Warm Nude. That's not my shade, I am quite a little bit lighter. So I'm going to do some of that, and then what I'm going to do is actually mix in some of the multi-use Born This Way concealer. So this is very full coverage, but it's actually quite nicely mixed in. It is in the shade Snow, so I use this to highlight and put underneath my eyes as concealer. So I'm going to mix some of that in with the foundation. Now you can use a brush or a beauty blender. I quite like to use a beauty blender personally on myself. I use brushes on clients. But I've just mixed it in with my beauty blender. I know it is clean, I assure you. Yeah, it looks a bit warm. And then I like quite a full coverage. Now the look I wanted to do today is more of a natural look, but it is going to be a full face and it is only full coverage. With coconut water, hyaluronic acid and alpine rose, so it's very calming and soothing on the skin. It's plumping, so it helps with any anti-aging signs, fine lines, but it's also medium to full coverage. And the reason it's called Born This Way is because it's designed to look like skin. So you get the coverage. I literally do take it down my neck. So. Lovely. So the next step, I'm going to go in with the concealer. Now this is full coverage. You can see it has a doe foot applicator as well. Some people said it's similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. I do put a lot on, okay. A little does go a long way. You really don't need that much. I suppose I just do it without thinking. I mean, that's flawless. Just how I like it. That actually helps as well because I am so fair. That's a really nice colour. So that's the shade Snow. Yes. Look like a little alien, I love it. I am actually into cream contouring. So what I use is the same concealer but in a slightly deeper shade. This is the shade Honey. Although it's darker, it's got more of a cooler undertone, so it may look quite golden on my skin, but I assure you it's one of our cooler tones. And I literally do 3 and 3. Just think of yourself as a warrior, and I like to actually stamp it in. See, that gives you that really lovely faded blurred effect. You don't have to do your jawline, but because mine is kind of slowly getting a bit chubbier, I like to define my jawline. And that's really nice. Do ever so slightly bring it up a little bit, so I think that kind of almost adds to that blended and blurred effect I quite like. And this is just cream contouring, so I am actually going to go in and set with powders as well. And to set with powder, I actually did love where is it? Peach Perfect. So this is more of a mattifying, and it does leave a very, very small, like a faint peachy hue to it. Until I realised that I did have my older primed and poreless. This is so lovely, so it gives you more of a blurred effect under the eye. So I am definitely in need of that, and I'm going to use that. So it is pressed, and it does come with a little powder puff, but I don't really like to use that. So I'm going to go in with a different beauty blender, and it's not that I pack it on, I probably would take off the excess there on my hand, and then set that down. I'm not really a huge fan of baking. I think if you've had filler, then maybe, but I definitely have not, and I think that almost emphasises my lines on my eyes personally, but if it works for you, then amazing. So I've just gone ahead and wiped off the excess foundation on my lips, my nose ring and my eyebrows, casual, and I'm going to go in now with the milk chocolate Slay bronzer. I have also got dark chocolate for when I like to tan, so I might use this predominantly and then a little bit of this at the back. I'm going to use this to set the cream contour. Now, I especially like to contour my forehead because I actually have a 5 head. So yeah, I'll make sure that's all good. And I love this bronzer because it is a lot more buildable. I think they just work really nicely, you know, mixing the cream contour with the powder contour to set. It just adds a little bit more of that coverage. And then before I go in with a slightly deeper bronzer, I'm obsessed with this brush. This is a Morphe brush, the G30, and I use it because it's almost like a stamp. So I just pat into the bronzer and just either side. And then I usually do some under the lip. I am sweating a little bit, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. I want to open my window, but B just came in and I'm not about that life. Plus there's lawnmowers, you know, everyone's buying their lawns right now. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back in with the dark chocolate. So this is just to add a touch towards the back, just for a bit of something something. And then one for luck, just a little touch. It's obviously very light-handed, just on the nose there. So you can see it's already brought my definition of my nose out so much more, which I love. As I am getting a little bit warm, because my window's not open, I'm actually going to go in with the Hangover 3-in-1, so you can use this to prime, prep and set. Sorry, prime, set and refresh. This one's the watermelon flavour, which I love, so. You don't have to just use it to set your makeup or to prime. It is actually quite nice if you do want a bit of hydration. Oh my god, that's heavenly. Yeah, just to rejuvenate the skin, so. Love that for me. For blush, I mean, even if you looked at my very old YouTube videos, you'll notice that I've always loved Sparkling Bellini. So this is quite an old blush now, but we still sell this one in the shade Sparkling Bellini. So I'm going to use some of this on the cheeks, and I like to do a touch on the nose as well. So I quite like smiling at myself, because then you can see the cheeks. And I kind of bring it back a little bit. I'm quite a fan of like draping. When we actually bring the blush up I'm not going to take it into the temples, but I do quite like just on the cheeks there. And then a touch, again on the tip of the nose. Quite a fan of that. Sweet Peach Glow. So I'm going to give this a go. It comes as a trio, but I'm going to use this to highlight with. See how we go. So you can see, like in the natural light, where it catches. Cute. The shade soft brown. On one end you've got your pencil, and then the other end you have your spoolie, so your brush. So I personally, because I have quite thick dark brows anyway, so I'm not going to use too much of the product, but you can see me looking straight on, and I talk about this all the time in all my videos, but my brows are completely uneven, so you can see how high this one is and how low this one is, so it's very much like so we're going to try and counteract that a little bit. I have gone quite thick. I do quite like thicker brows. Then I would usually use brow fibres just to set that in place, and again bring all the hairs sort of upwards and across. Basically what I use pretty much every day for like quite a simple natural look. And this is part of a Christmas set. It's got a lot of neutral colours, which is nice and easy. And then this one, the Tickle Peach, I always travel with this. You'll see one colour in particular is very well loved. So I'm going to use a combination of the two to create a quite soft caramel natural eye, and then I'm going to do a touch of shimmer on the lid, and I actually quite like to use my fingers. So just gently hugging around the eye. There you go, so you can see the difference. We've got a beautifully blended eye, nice, quick and easy, and now my other eye. Now you can use a brush for this next part, but I think it's just as easy. I'm actually just going to dip in with my ring finger. I might not use the peach palette, you know, today. I might just stick with this one because it's pretty much got everything that I need, and I might use this top shimmer shade. And you just literally get some onto your finger, like so. Press that on the lid. It's virtually blended anyway, but I'm just going to go in with my blending brush and just gently buff the outer corners. Nice and easy. Now with quite a domed contour brush, I'm just going to dip in again to the same caramel colour and just start placing that underneath the eye, because it does also make my eyes look bigger. And again with my blending brush, really gently buff that away. Now for mascaras there are two, so there's the Better Than Sex, which is more of a buildable mascara, and then there's the Damn Girl, which is more of a full-on intense look. I personally am a Damn Girl. It's a lot more, I mean I quite like a big brush, so they are both hourglass brushes to really get into the lash, the root of the lash, so you can see here. I'm more of a fan of this one. It's got melting waxes in it, and when they glide together it just gives you more of a smoother finish, I personally think, so I really like this one. It's also 24-hour wear, so you can't really go wrong. I do, however, tilt my head back just a little bit, I angle it more, just to get onto the root without transferring. So you can see, there's the mascara. Another little trick you can do just to further intensify the top of the lash line is to fill in the waterline with a darker pencil. Right, for this next bit I'm a little bit scared because one of the girls I used to work with used to do this, and I've done it before successfully, but now I'm filming, you know it's not going to work. But what I've done is scratched off some of the bronzer using a mascara wand onto the mixing palette, like so, and then just added some of the Hangover setting spray, and that's going to form a liquid colour, and then I'm going to flick that onto my face to give the appearance, the illusion of freckles. So here we go. Do that, pull that out. You can kind of see, it's all the little freckles. Cute! I think I prefer it. I'm going to do a tutorial tomorrow, I think, in natural light. So much prettier. Anyway, let's carry on as we've been going. Now for this part, Too Faced are really well known for their lip injections. So this is the shade Bubblegum Yum. It's a very, very faint pink. They do tingle. It just plumps your lips, it makes the blood rush to the surface, so it makes them more rosy. I have quite naturally rosy lips anyway, but this is quite nice if I've got a bit of foundation on there. This will just start to plump the lips, and while I'm doing that I can decide what I want to do for my lipstick. Okay, so now that's just literally been a couple minutes. All I do is just pat it off a little bit, because I don't want it to be too wet when I'm applying my lip products. You can obviously put it on top of lipstick as well, but I like to use it more of a treatment, so you can see my lips are just a little bit more pouty. Now, Too Faced don't do lip liners, so I'm going to do my lip liner quickly off camera, and then I'll come back to the lipstick and gloss. So, I've outlined my lips, and what I'm going to do now is go in with, this is part of the peach range. This is the shade Undercover Lover. I love this one, and it smells like peaches. Oh. And this is a matte finish, but I'm obviously going to go on with a gloss. This is Raising the Roof. This is like got the illusion of crushed diamonds. And with this. And what it does, because it's over a lipstick, it's just going to give you that nice glossy finish. It's not going to look too sparkly. On its own, it's very sparkly. And then, to be honest with you, that's pretty much it. Apart from setting the makeup, I'm going to go back in with the watermelon one. We do also do in a, well, they do also do in a peach as well, and also coconut, which is the original formulation. But I really like this one because it's more fresh. I find that the peach one's more sweet. Woo. And then fan it down. And then this is the finished look. So just a really natural, cute, freckly, fresh makeup look using all Too Faced products. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Quickly on that note, I thought I'll do a view in the ring light. And then no ring light, natural light. If I can figure it out. Which I think I prefer actually.